Hello magical people, my name is Luminix, and in this video I'm just going to share some of my thoughts about Donald Trump's first 100 days back in office. I think overall it's been pretty fucking awful. We have seen people be dehumanized, Americans including children with cancer be deported, people who were here legally being snagged off of the streets, sort of brown shirt style. We've seen an assault on our First Amendment rights of free speech. We have seen an assault on the rule of law, honestly. I'm kind of a politics nerd, and so I have been following a lot of what has been going on, and all across the board, honestly, it's been pretty fucking devastating. From defunding USAID and all of the pain, suffering, and death that will come from a result of that around the world, to changing the global political alliances that have been built for 80 years and saber rattling towards being an expanding empire with regards to Greenland, Canada, Panama Canal, the deportation of people without any semblance of due process, and then as that's made it through the court system, watching the administration outright lie about what the facts, the material facts of these legal cases are. The assault on trans people. I was looking up some figures earlier, and in 2021, there were 125-ish bills introduced all across the nation during that year, and certainly not all of them passed. But what's kind of fucked up is that now in 2025, just a short period of time later, there have already been over 800 bills introduced. And again, surely not all of them will pass, but just that bell curve of hatred coming for people. And I think there's really two through lines here for me. One is the cruelty, the dehumanization of all kinds of people for all kinds of reasons has just been utterly fucking disgusting. If you think it's okay to send anyone, regardless of what they've done, to a gulag in El Salvador, where there have been many humanitarian councils around the world that have already put this place on watch and indicated that there are human rights abuses happening there. If you think it's okay for Americans to be putting people there, not even considering the fact that it's being done so without due process, so many of these people are literally guilty of absolutely nothing in a court of law because no charges have even been filed. Anyways, if you think that's okay, you and I do not have the same values. And it doesn't seem as though it's particularly popular in the nation right now. The polling has been bananas. But regardless of that, there are still some people on board with it. And a part of me wants to just hope that they have misinformation or have incorrect information, because it is very clear, it is very plain how every single one in the administration, from Carolyn Leavitt through all of the different cabinets, all the way up to Donald Trump himself, are all very, very comfortable with lying their fucking asses off. They give no shits. So there has been this, just this hatred, bigotry, dehumanization of people all around. And at the same time, what we also see is that there is this utter irresponsibility to the enormous power and platform that the U.S. has, and just the irresponsible stewardship of that platform. Putting these jamokers in charge who are all just blatantly unqualified for the very serious roles that they hold, while all this at the same time talking about the return of the meritocracy. Honestly, there are days when I get up when I'm like, am I fucking insane? Because I know the reality that I've co signed with, and it is based on actual facts, actual values, actual ethics. And what I see this administration doing is just trying to paint a completely different reality. And I'm not going to co sign that. Absolutely not. Like, they are lying. They are lying to us. So, anyways, didn't mean to go off on that little tangent quite so much, but so we've seen so many things domestically that have been rolled back that are not going to help you, and they're not going to help me. They're going to help very few very wealthy people, and that's about it. Or at least it won't hurt them. But the pain that will be coming towards you and I, whether it's because of this asinine trade war tariff situation, or whether it's because people have lost their jobs. I mean, there have already been, I think I've heard some estimates of over 250,000 federal jobs already lost, and I don't believe they're done. This is just the first 100 days. So there's that. There's the fact that all of the cuts that they've made won't only hurt people around the world, but also many of those cuts through Doggy or Doge have also been with regards to contracts here within the domestic U.S. Our farmers are going to be hurting hella fucking bad. And then, of course, I'm sure the government will bail them out, as they should. But why would you spend a ton of money or cause the American... It's basically, you know what, I mean, I'm saying it right there. The whole thing is just so plain. It's so transparent. This whole administration is simply an opportunity to put forth gross bigotry and hatred, as well as to have a massive shift of wealth upward. Because what's going to happen here is that all of these tariffs, all of these canceled programs aren't going to do shit to help you and I. In fact, tariffs, another word for that is taxes. So all this means is that our consumer goods, if we can even have them available, are going to be more expensive. So more scarce and more expensive on your paycheck and on my paycheck, or on your wallet and on my wallet. But in addition to that, when things go so terribly disastrously that the farmers need aid, then the government will give them that aid. And that aid will also come on your back and on mine. So, one way of having this not happen is just to not do all of this bullshit in the first place. That's what would actually help you and me. Also, even just petty-ass shit like overturning the executive order that Biden had put in place that capped insulin at $25, gone. Why? Certainly not to help you, certainly not to help me, only to help Big Pharma. So, I'm just real tired of the lies, I'm real tired of the hatred, I'm real tired of the human rights abuses all across the board, both domestic and abroad. I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. I mean, it's a lot. It's just a lot. But that's not even a half of it. Like, I have been making lists. I've been jotting things down periodically over the last many weeks, and I've already forgotten most of the details. Signalgate, our national security. Oh my god, yeah, remember that? That was bananas. That was just an overt act of absolute incompetence. Any consequences? No. Oh, but right, this is the administration of the meritocracy and the return of meritocracy. Yeah, kiss my ass with that shit. Miss me with it. It's just so Orwellian. It's just so Orwellian. And I just think it's going to get worse. I think it's going to get worse. I think once shelves start to be even more empty in the store and goods become more and more expensive, and we see the trickle-down economics of one layoff leading to another layoff. I mean, let's talk for just a second about what's going to happen with our tourism. Are all the numbers all across the board are down, whether it's tourism by plane from Canada, or by bus from Canada or Mexico, or not bus, by automobile, or whether it's international flights. all across the board, the numbers are down, which means that, again, this is going to hurt you. This is going to hurt me. This means that people who are in doing service work, if there's nobody there requesting the service, do you think they're going to keep people employed? No. So it's going to lead to more layoffs. Trickle-down economics never worked in the way they said it was. Reagan was a liar. Everybody's a liar. They're all just lying. They know how it works. We've got over 40 years of evidence now to prove it. The only time trickle-down economics works is when the taxes trickle down to us. If you look at what has happened in the last 40 years in terms of wealth concentration, then you can very clearly see that trickle-down economics never worked. It will never work. It's not meant to work. It was just something that they told us would work to shut us up. Because the fact is that most of us, including myself, aren't that bright. And we have full-ass fucking lives that we need to take care of and things that we need to be doing with our time beyond paying attention to every fucking lie our government tells us. That's more than a full-time job. Anyways, I've gone way far afield from where I originally anticipated starting. We are having a real crisis, I think, in this country. I mean, the constitutional crisis, yes, of course, with regards to, I don't even think I ever finished that thought. I alluded to it earlier, but how with the outright defiance of the courts on multiple levels. The courts ordered that the AP should be allowed back into the press room. That hasn't happened. The courts ordered that the administration should be facilitating in the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and that also is not happening. So there is the actual constitutional crisis, but even beyond that, there is the only thing that is giving me hope with regards to the future of the nation is seeing how poor the polling is going for all of these actions that are taking place. And I know that most people really only care where it hits their pocketbook because most people are only paying attention to that because, again, we all have lives. But for me, I think the damage is going much deeper than that. I think enough damage has been done, particularly with regards to our global standing and, frankly, our reputation with regards to our global standing. I don't think we're getting that back. Not in my lifetime. Maybe someday, but this is not going to be like anything else in my life that I think we've ever experienced. So what I would encourage you to do is take care of yourself. One of the things that I've been doing, I honestly didn't even do it on purpose, but I had a little bit of a sort of cancer scare sort of thing, and I guess that trickled into my subconscious, and apparently my body decided it wanted to survive because somehow magically out of nowhere I've managed to get my daily step count up from 3,500 to almost 10,000 a day consistently for the last 7 weeks. I'm trying to actually drink the amount of water, literally very basic self-care shit, making sure that my home and my community and the people that I love, my family, my chosen family, trying to do what I can to make sure that those places are safe and feel good, and that there are times when there is joy being experienced. I'm spending an ass ton of time gardening because that's where I get a lot of my personal joy and sense of connection with the universe and with the world, and just feeling good about being alive. A lot of that comes from me just being in the yard, hanging with the plants, hanging with the squirrels, hanging with the crows. So I would say that I personally don't think this is going to get better anytime soon. I think it is definitely going to get worse, and it is very possible that it will get much worse. So take care of yourself in the smallest ways and in larger ways if you can. Take care of the people you care about. Try and connect with people. Try and get involved with your community, or more involved with your community, and that can look a myriad of different ways based on your particular magic and your particular needs, but do make sure that you're reaching out and having those connections. Because, yeah, this is only the first 100 days, and I think it's going to be a pretty rough ride. I'm sorry I don't have anything more hopeful. I'm sorry this video is probably pretty sloppy. I think in an effort to actually get it all the way to YouTube, I probably won't edit it much, so thanks for sitting through my blunders, and I hope some of this made sense, and at the very least, if you, like me, are a person who has just been waking up every day with this sense of dread and loss and anger and rage and powerlessness, and wondering if you are the one not recognizing reality or if it's just so much in the ephemera of reality. The ether right now is just misinformation. If you, like me, are one of those people, then I hope at the very least I've let you know that you're not alone in this. Till next time, don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourselves, and I will see you at some point.